Recording.
All right. Welcome, YouTube world. Oh, yeah. Ooh. So guess what? Welcome to the Sideshow, or as Liz has, I'm supposed to point this way, the side-by-side show. I made a doodle for her.
Side-by-side show. I don't know which way Rebecca is. She's just a big box on my phone.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do introductions and then we can fill people in on that. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion at Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina, telecommuting into work.
Yay! But in my head, when I remember us filming, she's sitting right beside me right here. Which is now what it makes sense when people were like, but you're on the wrong sides. Because when I'm filming this, you are where you're supposed to be mirror image wise. Like you look like in the video right now, you look like you are sitting. I have to remember my left and my right. I can't do this. I'm so bad. People who've taken classes with me know this. I confuse my left and my right all the time, and it's really confusing for them. You look like in the image I'm seeing, like you are sitting to my left. But it has come to my attention because my mother, shout out to my mom, I love you, Mom. My mother has informed me that
I'm to your right.
Well, no, yeah, or like what I am seeing when I film, I am seeing a mirror image of myself. Probably not to like mess me up, but that means I see you to my left, and so I point this way. And people watching at home, it flips the image when it records. So people watching at home are watching me point away from you right now. Oh. Like what I would think of as that way. So right now when you did introductions, it's going to make my brain hurt. It's like trying to take light and dark colors in a chart and reverse them when you're knitting.
And reverse them.
Yeah, which I talked about in the only video I made yesterday for tips and tricks, by the way. It was about reading charts. So I have to be like, I am now pointing at you. But what I see on my screen is me pointing towards away from you. It's so confusing. But at least we can still record remotely. Well, like that was such a hassle for me. It was ridiculous. Try to figure out. And
we'll have to wait and see if you pointing away from me actually works. Because we won't know until like it's online.
Yeah, I have to be completely honest, I haven't watched one of these like after it's done in quite a while, mostly because I just don't have time.
I haven't watched any of the new side-by-side shows. Like I think they're caught up on the other ones, but
well, okay, so you can someone will let us know in the comments. I'm sure my mom will let me know. She'll text me. Love you, Mom. So I'm gonna try real hard to not break the roll of the conversation, but point in the right direction.
Point in the right direction.
Okay. I kind of wish. I mean, I guess it would throw me off if what I'm looking at was actually the correct orientation, because we're so used to, if we see ourselves, it's usually because we're looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what it's trying to reflect in the Zoom meeting. But
it's so weird.
I can only hang on to so much at once, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, in the middle of Thursday, which was one of the craziest, busiest days I've had since shutting my doors. So thank y'all. I whipped up a little. This is the original Sideshow. Boop. And now it's the side-by-side.
It's me with a hat on because it was winter.
Yeah,
and I made this me with my knot.
Yeah, and so that one, I'm going to point this way. That one, I'm trying to reflect like what we are dressed as now. So the hairstyles are a little off maybe, but like Liz is no longer in a winter attire. She's doing little pigtails. I kind of based that on your yeah, you've got the low buns going on. I
got the low buns today.
Yeah, like I kind of based it on your new emoji on the iPhone, which the closest to your hairstyle is the two buns up here, which you often have when you're here in the shop. And It's funny because I drew my pigtails where they have been, but I'm starting to move to lower pigtails as the front of my hair grows out. And the emoji that I can have on my iPhone, the closest hairstyle to this is pigtails like down here, but short little pigtails. So it's like, I don't know who has a hairstyle like that, where it's long enough to pull back, but still short enough that you have little bristle brush.
Yeah.
Pigtails. Anyway, I'm trying out different looks. You know, woo, these are just hanging out right above my ears instead of way up here. We'll see. All styles of pulling your hair back have their issues, and I don't have time to be using hairspray and pins and stuff to keep the flyaways down. So whatever.
Yeah.
I'm getting some nice roots though. I still have a little bit of fairy hair. Little bit. I'm gonna be so sad when that all goes away because Erin, we missed you. Shout out to Erin of Mountain Fairy Hair. But I'm getting some nice ombre going. I got a like 1.5 inches, 2 inches going on now. But enough about that. I'm sure that's
I
exactly
dyed
what
my
people
hair.
want to hear about. What?
I dyed my hair over Easter, so I don't have to worry about my roots.
I have not resorted to box dyes yet. I'm kind of intrigued to see what my natural hair color looks like and how much gray hair I have. So this is an experiment, and we'll see how long it lasts. Maybe I'll let it all grow out and chop it, and then I'll dye it again. Because for me, dyeing it has never been about hiding grays. Although now it's like, oh look, I have grays. For me, it's always been like just wanting a different hair color. Or just wanting to change every now and again. That's been my thing with hair dye, like since I was in college. And I've gone in and out of those phases. Anyway, so, cause people can't believe, I mean, you do not have to divulge your natural hair color, but when you tell people, they're like, no. Anyway, so.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I always joke that I'm letting my hair be the red it wants to be. I have family heritage that involves red hair. My sister is a natural strawberry blonde. And so it's like engaging with the color my hair wanted to be, but isn't. It's not so much like I'm trying to, you know, hide something or like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
Dad always said he has 2 redheads. One's natural, because my sister's a natural redhead, and one's not found in nature. And that would be me.
Well, and I, people think I'm a natural redhead all the time because, you know, shout out to my hairstylist, Brett. He does such a good job. I miss him terribly. I think he would be horrified if I did box dye, but he'd maybe understand. I can't wait to get back to him. I think he's doing consultations. I'd love to still be paying him. I think my parents are paying their hairstylist so that she is still having income, and that's wonderful. I don't have money to do that. So, but he does such a good job that people think I'm a natural redhead. And so they'll crack jokes with me about redheads, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll roll with it. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to church when we can finally attend church again behind masks and partitions and stuff. And they're going to be like, who are you and what happened to your hair? But I'll roll with it. So we were discussing before we started filming, like, should we have a topic? Like, we used to have topics. We used to have things. And then, you know, the world became a hot mess. And now it's just like a bi-weekly check-in that sometimes we have topics. So, and hey, shout out to the people who checked in. I think last Thursday we were like, yeah, it's early. We're tired. How are you all doing? And we're slowly starting to hear from people checking in with us. I mean, I love it. We heard from Claire this morning. We heard from Christine and Janie, I think. I'm probably forgetting the other person. I'll try to look it up. We heard from about 3 people last week, and it was nice to hear from y'all. And yeah, let's be honest with ourselves about how we're feeling and doing, because stuffing it down means it's gonna come out sometime. We're all having good days and bad days, and I think that's natural. I had someone call from my church to check in with me yesterday, and they're like, how are you doing? And honestly, in that moment, I was okay. So it was hard to really share how I'm feeling because I wasn't tapped into everything, all the craziness. But you know, I think that's life right
It is.
now. But as much as I find filming with you, Liz, and putting it online like is actually really helpful for me. It puts me in a better mood for the day. So I'm happy to do it.
It's
Like,
early, but you know, I'll do it.
other than, oh my gosh, it's early. What? I had Bernie coffee this morning, and I have a little bit left, but I emptied it into another container so that I could give, like, in our prisoner exchange today, where we are socially twice as far apart as we need to be, I can give you back some empty containers. So I did start my day right with some Bernie coffee.
I have coffee, and I started bread before we.
Am I getting bread?
Yeah.
Yay! Oh my gosh, my stepson is like is just gushing over your bread. He was so excited. He's like, maybe we can, because we started to run out, and he's like, maybe we can have bread again. I'm like, maybe. I don't know how often Liz is gonna make bread, and you know he's very happy. So thank you.
Yeah, I gotta started bread before so that you know it would actually be a little bit cool by the time we did our prisoner exchange and ready to go. So
it was great last time. It was and thank you all for just letting us talk about this for a second. But it wasn't soggy. What you did last time was perfect. It was super great. We had eggs in a basket. The eggs in the middle of the, and you know what? As I was eating that, I could see Liz said how her bread like makes really good French toast, and I'm like, if we had syrup, but I could tell how it would be amazing. Okay. By the way, for people, like, apparently sourdough starter and like making bread is now a thing while everyone's stuck at home. If you, I have no time, and I would kill it, just like I kill plants. But I've seen a lot of people on Facebook doing that. That's awesome. Keep going, because Liz's bread is the bomb. So
I don't do a starter. It's straight up yeast. Because even before all this started, I buy my yeast at Sam's or Costco. So I get 2 great big bricks that are enough to last normal life, like years. And so, yeah.
Is that why people do starters? Because they don't have enough and they need to like make more or something? Because I don't understand any of that.
The sourdough starters are kind of your yeast. Like you mix it together, and I mean, there's bakeries in San Francisco that their starter is like hundreds of years old. And you just keep adding to it, and it tastes like sourdough. I don't like the taste of sourdough. I prefer like baguette artisan type bread that that has just a little taste of, you know, sourness, but not, yeah.
And that is our bread lesson for the day. Ask Liz if you have questions. I keep going like, yeah, because I know nothing. But let me pull up the comments, and yep, I got it right. It was Christine and Janie and Claire, and I think they were all over the map, which is where we all are. You know, we're doing what we can. So. Yeah. I see the post lady outside. We'll see if she comes over here and needs to talk to me or not. But we should check in on how we're doing and what we're doing. And in some areas there's been no progress at all on knitting or crocheting. And then I've done a couple of things, but there's other projects that I was hoping to have done now that are not done. So I finished this one last week, and guess what? It's still sitting here in a lump.
Unblocked.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful lump, but it is unblocked. Yes, I was gonna block it, and then there was water damage in my shop. My products are fine, by the way, the yarn at least. So the area where I would normally block wasn't blockable, and then life got busy, so that hasn't happened. Liz, what are you working on?
So I have this past weekend, I didn't do a whole lot except for play with my new baby, which is a treadle sewing machine. And I made a new dress, and I got a couple of rows done on my sister's Papillon, which is all kind of bunched up, so I won't pull it out. And this is the first time I've played with this one.
It looks like you've made progress on it, like, but that's because I can't remember where you were on it.
I think I finished this row last time, and so anyway, I'm on row 8 on this, and I just finished row 22, which, if you're familiar with the Papillon, is more than one row. Yeah, like I've got to get it. I've got to get it done by like Saturday or Sunday so I can have it in the mail by Monday next week, so my sister can have it for there's lots anyway. But got to get it in the mail on Monday, so I'll be working on that like nonstop.
I feel like we jumped over your dress real fast, and you spent a lot of time on it. So, look at the pretty fabric. I mean, get that way. I'm pointing towards Liz now. I think that's really, really pretty. Look at that. Is that batik?
It's batik.
Wow, that's super pretty. And were those the shoulder straps you were worried would be too thin?
Yeah.
I think
they're about 3/4 of an inch thinner than I normally wear them, but it's mostly done on my treadle sewing machine. So that it was a new toy I got to play with, you know.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if we explained that to people. So your treadle sewing machine, what happened with that? What is that?
My treadle sewing machine, it is a modern sewing machine, but it's like the one it's on an antique base that you pump and pedal. And anyway, it is all foot powered. So it
there's like a thing going on. But yeah, so like you can keep making things even if we lose power and stuff, right?
Yeah. That's why I wanted it, because, you know, I've been in the middle of a dress so many times and the power went.
And okay, we lost power this weekend randomly. Like there wasn't even a reason to in the middle of the night. And side note, it's crazy how much you get used to noises from electronic products until you don't have them there anymore, and then you can't sleep because you don't have that white noise there anymore. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, it makes sense. We're in the middle of our version of a zombie apocalypse, so why not be totally ready for the full zombie apocalypse, like when we have no power and everything. So yeah. So I started a Papillon too.
Yay! I knew she'd like come to the dark side and start a new one.
This is one that I was thinking about making, but I was like, I have too many other things to do. And then Friday knit night, I started this one, and I've already gotten this far because it's addictive, even though I've had other stuff to do. I'm almost done with big section 1. There's like 3 big sections, and I think I'm going
and it's so fast in the beginning.
Yeah, because the rows are short. I think I'm going to do the moth variant instructions of this, which means little holes in between the sections and some extra eyes in places. And this yarn is slightly bigger, slightly thicker than the fingering weight. I guess it's kind of between a sport and a DK.
She's really come to the dark side. She's doing a big one.
I'm on size 7 needles. It is not going to be like wrap me up in it. It's actually meant to be like a summery spring thing.
It's going to be in between our 2 shawls.
Yeah. Because it's actually, so not the one that Liz is knitting on right now, pointing that way. But the other one, the one she's making for her sister. We're both using the same 2 yarns in different colors. Yeah, so that one over there. We're both using the same 2 yarns, but in different colors. So the main color, but I'm only single stranding it, and she is double stranding it. So hers is gonna be, I keep going like, yeah. Hers is gonna be a lot bigger and thicker. But this is the Kancha. This is, here, let me get the center tag out and show you all. It's Mirasol Kancha. And it is 2 plies. One is a ply of, one's a ply of wool, and one is a ply of cotton. So it does a minor thin thick thing, and the two different fibers take color in different ways. And so that's why in this piece I'm knitting, if my camera from my old computer can capture it, there's some light and dark spots and some wispier spots.
It is absolutely yummy to knit
really
with.
fun. We've had it in the shop for a little while. It's, even though it's got wool in it, it still has a light summery feel.
Yeah.
We've had it in the shop for a while and it wasn't really moving. And I think that's because people haven't really experienced it. Like, we had a sample too, but the sample was also kind of huge. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it's working with it. It's really soft to knit up. And then my contrast color is Berroco's Quinoa, which we've had for a while as well. And we have all these fun colors. There's a new top out in Quinoa. But it is a textured cotton. It's also got thin and thick spots in it. And it's got, excuse me, what's it? Ugh, makes my nose itch. It's got the littlest bit of nylon in it just for like structure. And it's funny, I was showing this to my niece yesterday, and she's like, "Ooh," because I said I'm doing gray and blue, and she said that looks kind of purple. And I said, actually, this color, even though it's kind of gray, is called lavender. And then we had this whole discussion about, well, that's not what I think of when I think of lavender. And I said, I know, honey, yarn companies kind of name their stuff sometimes colors we don't think they are.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
The one thing I have to say about the Kancha is it's considered DK, but there's like 437 yards on a skein. So it is ample and it fluffs. It's fluffs.
A super light DK. So when we light by light, we mean thick.
Yeah, but it fluffs beautifully. It knits up beautifully, and you get a ton of it for the price.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've done all of that, and I still have this. This feels like a whole skein still, and I've already done all of this stuff. So, so that's my current Papillon. I have dreams and visions of another one, but I'm a one at a time Papillon knitter, even if I'm not a one at a time project knitter, and so I'm gonna hold off on that. We may have
for right now.
Yeah. We may have convinced a couple of our new to us knit nighters to start Papillons at some point, because we keep talking about them at knit night. Our faraway knit nighters, Shia and Luann, are feeling peer pressure. We're trying not to pressure them, but they're feeling peer pressure to join in and do a Papillon. Which, by the way, I've had at least one person, Cheryl Lacemaker, asked if I was going to do a butterfly cowl class, and I forget, oh, my cowl's over there. And I said, hang on, because I'm still working on the whole virtual class thing. But I've had 2 classes this weekend where I had more than one person on the call, on the Zoom meeting, and navigated it fairly well, I think. So my biggest obstacle right now to having a group class, like on the Papillon, be it the cowl or the shawl, is timing logistics. Is usually when we had classes in the shop, you walk in, you buy your purchase, your supplies, you sit down, we have the class.
Yeah.
And now it's planning far enough out that you want to do the class that we can get you supplies through the mail. Now the mail has been pretty quick. I will say the postal service has been pretty quick, which is awesome. But it would have to be planning a week or 2 out to have the class so everyone has their supplies in time. So if you're interested in a class, be it on a Papillon or something else, please let me know, because I want to help you. I'm still keeping class fees what they were in the shop, which is $25 for a class. $15 for a quick not necessarily quick, I will be with you up to 2 hours. For like I need help with something specific. But my classes were always $25 for the help and for follow-up help. So doesn't include supplies, but I think we've had good times with the 2 classes I did over the weekend. So so let me know, because I want to coordinate with you. It's more logistical hurdles, but it's not undoable. So so segue, not really, I have no way to segue. I somehow got back to doing my brick lists, which is a Martina Bem pattern. She did the Hitchhiker. So like the Hitchhiker, it's got these little teeth where you do a section and then you bind off, and then you do a section and then you bind off a little bit. So you have these little ridges on the edge. But the brickless is kind of fun because you've got 3 sections. You've got a lace section, like a mesh. You've got garter, knitting every row, and you have ribbing. And then you keep repeating those. And so I only have this little bitty tag at the end, and I finally got another repeat, and I'm starting on my 3rd repeat. And it's funky because it's really thin right now at the end. It keeps growing. Like this side keeps growing every single row. And then this side, every few rows, you're binding off a different number of stitches. So I'm intrigued to see how this is gonna go.
It looks really cool.
It's funky though. It's really hard to photograph. Like I put this down because it's so spindly, and like I take photographs and it looks kind of poopy in the photograph. It looks great in person. Yeah. And I'm really excited because every few rows, and it's different rows for each section, it changes. So it keeps you interested. It's without being super difficult. It can keep you interested and entertained. It's not too monotonous, but it's also not too challenging. I think it's great. And I'm making it. Oh, I just lost a cord somewhere. I'll find that later. Have I mentioned my project bag is a hot mess?
Nope.
I'm using this new stuff we got in right before the pandemic hit from Plymouth Yarns called Moonshadow. I call it my moonshine yarn. And it's got this chainette, which I find really cool. And it is baby alpaca and Pima cotton. So I think that it's probably the chainette's cotton, and then well, no, it looks like they're kind of woven together a little bit in this. Sometimes it's a chainette of one with the other blown into it. This looks more interwoven. It's really soft and really fun, and the cotton makes it a little more breathable for summer and spring. It's a worsted weight, or a light worsted. I'm on a size 7 needle. I'm having fun with it. It's kind of a change up. I need to get back to my crocheted piece that I'm doing, the together apart.
Yeah.
I'm through 1 ball, but I think that's exactly where I was Thursday. So I haven't really made progress on that. That has enough of an interest of a pattern that it's hard to do when I'm doing knit night and kind of trying to be with everybody. So I haven't been. And I still have to work on my Soldotna. At some point, I need to put this on and see if the length is okay. Maybe if I am inspired enough and have energy enough, I can have it on for one of our filmings and y'all can tell me. Maybe Thursday. I'll try to bring a little tank top so I can put it on and y'all can tell me. But it's not prepped. Cool. It's not prepped to put on right now. I need to put it on like 2 different needles so it won't, all the stitches won't fall off when I go to put it on.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That'd be bad. That'd be very bad. So you know what? I didn't even check when we started filming.
I didn't either, but it is now 9 minutes till 10.
I think we've been going for at least 20 minutes or so. What I wanted to mention before we go for today is I'm working with one of my knitters, knitter crocheter, she does both, Geraldine, because we talked before about, you know, people have been reaching out to me saying, I want to help. Maybe I can knit masks for myself or my family or other people. And I'm like, yeah, knit masks. There's so many issues potentially with a knit mask. So, and we mentioned that in a different video. So what she has started the effort of doing, which you'll see all over social media and it's pretty cool, is what knitters and crocheters can do is these little mask extender things. They're little like tabs that are about this long, and they have buttons on either end. And I haven't made one yet because life is just a little crazy right now. But what they do is they go across the back of your head, and the masks with the elastic on them, you can hook the elastic to them so that it's not cutting into the back of your ears. And it's really meant for healthcare workers and people who have to wear masks for really long periods of time. and they're finding that the elastic slices into their ears and hurts. And she's actually had a request from the local hospital to make a bunch. And I think this is something that, you know, again, it's just like the nursing homes and stuff. Check with them first. Don't just do this and drop it in their laps, because they'll be like, what the heck, we didn't need these, or we don't want these. But some people might find it really helpful. See if your places where they have to wear masks like all day. Hospitals, nursing homes, other places, maybe grocery stores. See if people would want these. And they're great stash busters because they just take a little bit of yarn. You do need buttons. I've got to say, we have random buttons here at the shop, but we don't have a ton. But Geraldine, for local people, Geraldine is doing, she's having a drop-off pickup of buttons. So you got to contact her. And call me at the shop or email me if you need to contact her for buttons. But Geraldine and I got together to say, hey, let's do a challenge. Let's do a 24-hour challenge. How many can you make in 24 hours? She has a knit and a crochet pattern, which she's posted on Facebook. I don't know if I can put the links here. Liz, we lost your camera.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's, I gotta take this.
Okay.
All right.
I will finish up. Bye, Liz.
Right. Bye.
I'm the one talking about a whole bunch of stuff anyway. So Liz has to take a call. I think her little raccoon, which we'll explain in the next video, will maybe pop back up if she doesn't actually sign off of the Zoom meeting. But I'll finish up what I was going to say. We're going to do a 24-hour challenge. How much can you make in a day? And we're going to give them to the local, and if it exceeds the need of the local hospital, we're going to give them other places. Geraldine's in charge of the donations and where they go. But we will give a shout out here for people who make the most. And it can be local people who are dropping off with us. And it can also be, if you're not local and want to do this, you can share with us how many you've made. So there were details in my newsletter, and there's details on Facebook. And I got to wrap up now because we've been going a ridiculously long time. And Liz had to go. So we love you all. We miss you. You know she would say that too. If she was here. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap up on the filming and give this some kind of random. Oh, she's back.
I didn't realize that it would send me back.
You went to the I was about to sign off, but it went to the raccoon. Do you want to explain what the raccoon is before we go?
Oh,
I didn't talk
the
about
raccoon.
Go ahead.
The raccoon is at my friend's house out in Washington. There's this huge tall tree, and it has a bird feeder from, I don't know, it's ancient, up in the tree, but it's so far off the ground that you can only see it from the deck. And one morning I walked out on the deck and there was a raccoon sleeping in it, and I thought it was just so cute.
Ah! Before we go, I forgot to mention, I'm wearing a Reyna today. I'll put the link in the pattern in the comments. And it's a great yarn that we're totally out of from Yarn Baby. Look her up. She does awesome work. But yes, I was about to say the whole "we love you, we miss you" part. You wanna chime in?
Stay tuned for more adventures with Liz and Rebecca.
Thanks for being with us in our lives for about half an hour. And we love you. We see you later. Bye-bye. I'm hanging up. Ready? Bye.